Welcome back to the Wacky Wonderful Wise Works podcast, everybody. All you guys, gals, geeks, and goofballs. This is episode 221. For some reason, my slides say 221.
No.
It's 393, I think.
That's right. Almost at 400 episodes of the Wise Works podcast. Now, we got a fill-in. We got a stand-in. We got a returning personality.
Cue the Black Eyed Peas. I got a feeling.
So Wyatt's out. He's going to be out for I think 2 weeks. Is that correct, Joshua? And
Wait,
so Seth is. Hey, you're your brother's keeper. You know what I mean? I don't know. But we got Seth. He's been on the channel before. He's been on the podcast before. He's joining us again as a fill-in. He's well-versed in the entertainment world. He's got a lot of thoughts, opinions. So you're going to have some fresh perspective. Seth, for people who don't know you, introduce yourself.
I stay up to date with this podcast, so I'm not going to know anything we talk about today, but I'll do my best. Hi, everyone. My name's Seth. Longtime friends of the Wise brothers here, of Wyatt and everybody involved at Wise Works. Glad to be here. It's going to be a real great time. We're just going to go in. We're going to hit it hard, and we're going to come out on top. You know, we just got
no profanity. Seth is a pastor.
And you know what I was thinking about today? The short.
According to Joshua, I'm technically a pastor. According to him.
No. What I was going to bring up was something more embarrassing. The very brief career Seth had as a rapper / singer back in the day.
Oh gosh.
Is she beautiful? And is that true, Seth?
I know you're referencing something, but I've blocked so much of that out of my mind. I don't even remember.
Look, she is beautiful, and it is true.
It
is. Yes.
And we're not sure who she is when he was writing those adolescent rhymes.
But we did hear that from your mom last night when getting in the fight with the store clerk at Walmart.
Joshua, stop
rhyming. Oh God, don't bring that back into my memory. Oh my God. Did you find an old scrap of paper with that?
Joshua logged it in the back of his mind.
Oh my God. Oh man. No, the things I remember are stuff like, Cherry Coke. That's what I remember.
Cherry
Coke. Oh, yeah.
Cherry Coke commercial.
Part of the...
Yeah, we used to do commercials when we were young, like cherry advertisements for Cherry Coke. Seth was a freelance rapper. His voice hadn't cracked yet, so it sounded like a literal 7-year-old trying to rap. But man, good times. We were pretty young getting into the video production world, and Seth had a lot of ideas. We used to spend hours and hours on the phone just crafting this idea that Seth had for this short film. And he would just explain it to me, and I'd be like, all right, I try to be as professional and as filmmakery as I could, but my voice hadn't cracked yet. So I was like, all right, Seth, so what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to make sure we have a tripod. We got to make sure we bring our extra batteries.
I remember this one idea we had. You're like, we could, there's this really old cemetery over by our house, and that would be the perfect backdrop for it.
Yeah, I was thinking scouting locations.
I remember telling my mom about that. She was like, "You cannot desecrate people's graves, running around trampling on people's graves just for some movie." But if it's for a good movie,
some of these people have been dead for 100 years in the cemetery.
Exactly,
so.
They would have wanted us to do it.
Look, the imagination of children. That's what the goal was, and we were going to use their ghosts as a part of the VFX.
Now, 2 out of the 3 have children, so. Yeah. Oh,
I'd let my kids film in a graveyard. I don't know.
Seth's the newly fathered.
Yeah. By the way, Seth's a father now. Welcome to fatherhood. I haven't been in it very long, but welcome.
You've been in it for at least a year.
Yeah, about a year and a half. And I just want to say welcome publicly, because the cool thing about this podcast, we've been doing it for so long. It's like there's moments in the podcast where we literally have big life moments that are just kind of tracked and recorded. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And this is a big moment where how old is your boy Giles now?
He is in
4 weeks old.
In like a couple of days, he'll be 3 weeks old.
3 weeks old. That's a fun, tiresome time, and congratulations. So Wyatt's not here, but we have a really good fella here with us. So Joshua, I'd say let's jump into it. Let's jump into this first segment here.
So this is a week or so behind, but we talked about this on the Monday all weekend. But I just wanted to go into a few things we didn't touch on. We talked about the Avengers Doomsday.
Yeah, Robert Downey Jr. is coming back to the
Robert's coming
Marvel.
Back. Somehow Robert is back. But I just wanted to go through really quickly because we've touched on
Disney's really good about bringing people back and not explaining exactly how they came back. You know, somehow RDJ returned.
I mean, we'll see.
That's not true. It's not incorrect. Now, he's not playing Iron Man, obviously, and I guess he's going to be wearing a mask the whole time. But if they take the mask off, this is the one thing that Wyatt was kind of okay with, and I was like, "Look, I'm happy they're bringing him back because that's actually going to bring people to the theaters and actually watch the film." But on the same level, it's like if they take the mask off of Doctor Doom, we know that's Iron Man. You know what I mean? Like, it's going to be a weird.
Yeah, are they going to write it like he's actually Victor Von Doom or whatever? Or are they going to write it like Tony Stark went and turned into Doctor Doom instead of Iron Man? Like,
dude, no idea.
I know with multiverse, there's like anything can happen.
My
honest opinion, you know, my opinion's not worth much, but in my honest opinion, this just seems like a really desperate reach for Disney. Like they're trying to do anything to recoup losses because they just see the absolute dumpster fire all their IPs are turning into. So
absolutely, we got that witch show coming out this fall that looks like a complete bag of garbage. Yeah, remember the WandaVision? No, WandaVision.
Oh, like for
WandaVision.
Okay.
It's the witch that's on WandaVision. So
Agatha.
Yeah. Agatha all along is what it's called. And it looks like complete garbage.
When you said witch show for a second, I thought you were meaning witches like Hocus Pocus type stuff or something.
No, I'm talking about like Marvel witches.
Okay. Yeah. I'm like, they already tried a witch show with the Acolyte. That didn't work too well.
And we just came off of that. Try not to remind us too much of that horrible Acolyte show, man.
I couldn't. I just couldn't.
Joshua tapped out. He was like, "I'm not a part of this."
I watched
I never watched any of it.
I watched an interview. I watched 4 episodes, and then I watched an interview with Leslie
Headland,
and she said, "Wait, isn't R2D2 gay? It's canon that R2D2 is lesbian, right?" And I was like, "No, R2D2 is not a lesbian. I'm not gonna watch.
He's not a person."
Well, here's the weird crap though. They'll counter that by being like, it's obviously a joke. He's a droid. He's not gay. But the thing is, it's not
a joke.
Far off, because they do insert gay characters and they do insert all of these PC talking points. Like every white male in the Acolyte was a complete beta, you know?
Yeah, and I mean, and they made that droid in Solo like attracted to Lando or whatever, and like, so I mean, I wouldn't put it past them to try to force something. You know, Disney's done some dumber things in the past. So.
And the Acolyte was the worst of the bunch, dude. The Acolyte was horrible. We're not talking about Star Wars though. Let's really quickly run through the Marvel list. Let's step away from Star Wars. Okay. Captain America, Brave New World. And this is the one that's going to introduce Harrison Ford as Red Hulk.
Yeah. Oh, I forgot about that. Leave Harrison Ford alone. My boy, he needs to be like
a grandfather to somebody.
He needs to be laid back in a home in Florida just like catching some rays, you know, in a retirement community. My man's tired. Okay, they already messed him up with the Indiana Jones. They just need to let him rest.
It's true.
Okay?
I totally forgot about
My
Indiana
guy
Jones.
is too old to be doing all this stuff.
I didn't watch that.
So so we also got Thunderbolt that you went to here, and I don't know anything about Thunderbolt, but I did a quick Google search.
I don't either. I think it's a spin-off tie of Black Widow.
Why is there an asterisk at the end of Thunderbolts?
I don't know. It has something to do with the title.
It's a working title.
Yeah,
no. It's coming up as Marvel Thunderbolts with the asterisk.
Asterisk, yeah. There's something with the asterisk. I don't really know, but it's kind of a spin-off of the Black Widow assassin team. I don't even know what they're. I watched the movie one time and I didn't pay attention because it was bad.
Hopefully this isn't going to start a trend of people naming their sons 5 years from now Thunderbolt with an asterisk on the end of it. People have done worse. People have put dashes and hyphens in people's names.
Right. Okay. So after years of rumors, Thunderbolts has been officially confirmed, bringing the first MCU villain team up movie to life way before the official announcement. The concept of Thunderbolts movie drew heavy speculation from longtime Marvel readers and viewers for years. MCU Phase 4 audience deduced one could be in the works thanks to Valentina. Whatever. Is it explain at all what it's about? Latest news.
Sounds like a Marvel version of Suicide Squad.
It's these people.
It's these folks.
Did you ever watch Black Widow, the movie?
Yeah.
It's the
you got Black Widow's sister, who's played by Florence Pugh.
It's her sister. It's her dad.
You got Hopper from Stranger Things.
Yeah, it's the team that
we got. We got the Mr. Wilson guy from Up over there.
It's the team that she was part of, basically.
Okay, gotcha.
Before she became part of the Avengers and met Hawkeye. That's essentially the short of it.
I gotcha. I'm so disconnected from Marvel and Marvel
lore. They're
everything.
not main characters, and they're not fun characters either.
It's the Marvel Suicide
characters.
Squad. Seth said it right. It's the Suicide Squad of Marvels. And we all know the best thing about Suicide Squad was the 21 Pilots theme song.
Oh, was it? I thought it was Pete Davidson. Wasn't Pete Davidson in one of them?
I don't know. I think so. In the second one, I believe.
Yeah.
Okay, so we got Thunderbolts they announced. So that's coming out. Fantastic Four first.
So it looks like they finally came up with a name.
Oh, they're going to do a movie of when they're little kids growing up. Kind of like how they used to do the Looney Tune Baby show,
That's right.
Or like Rugrats, stuff like that.
We've talked about a good bit about Fantastic Four on our content before, but
we have. It looks like they have the four. They have the bad guy, apparently, Dr. Doom. He's a Fantastic Four villain.
But that's not going to be the villain for the Fantastic Four.
Not
Dr.
for the
Doom
first one.
Dr. Doom is going to be the villain for the Avengers movie, right?
Yes, which will tie in with the Fantastic Four.
This movie is going to have John Malkovich.
So the villain.
Go back real quick.
Well, the villain for Fantastic Four is going to be Shia LaBeouf, right? And it's going to be played by Julia Garner, who is obviously famous for shows like Ozark and Queen's Gambit, right? And the interesting thing is
they got
Shia
Pedro
LaBeouf.
Pascal.
Well, I remember talking about this. Shia LaBeouf is actually a villain, and then there is like there's like a version, like an off comic of a female Shia LaBeouf, but it's not the main Shia LaBeouf, right? For Fantastic Four villains. And so they're going with we already discussed this, but they're going with literally the not very canon female version of Shia LaBeouf because they don't want to do a male villain. It's just another... There's a lot of female characters in MCU. I don't know why you have to go with the off-brand Shia LaBeouf. to just make it a woman. You know what I mean? And I have nothing against Julia Garner. She's a great actor, but that's a problem to me. It's a big problem.
Pedro Pascal, Joseph Quinn. I can't
Vanessa
read the rest
Kirby. Vanessa
Yes,
Kirby's going to
thank
play Sue Storm. I'm actually most happy about Joseph Quinn. I'm really excited to see him in Gladiator 2. He was great in Stranger Things season 4. And I
Yeah.
could care less about Pedro
Right.
Pascal.
Yes, Eddie from Stranger Things.
But he's also going to play one of the emperors. I think he's the emperor, or one of the emperors in the Gladiator 2 that's coming out, I think, close to Christmas. Did you see the trailer for that, Seth?
For the new Gladiator, I haven't.
Yeah.
No,
he's
he
going to be in the
pretty good
movie.
in it.
And I loved him in Stranger Things.
Just click on Joseph Quinn Gladiator. See if it or I doubt it's going to be on here, but Joseph Quinn Gladiator. Show him the.
He's also in A Quiet Place Day 1, by the way.
Yeah.
So he's got Gladiator 2 coming up. He's got Fantastic Four, Avengers Doomsday, Avengers Secret Wars, a movie called Warfare,
and Relapse.
Relapse.
Yeah, the Eminem album.
Yeah.
They're making a movie.
Actually, honestly, he would play a great Eminem, a young Eminem. Don't you think so?
I don't know. He's British.
Buzz his hair, bleach it. He would play a great.
I don't know.
Eminem.
I think
Eminem
Marshall
should be at
Mathers
least
does a
respected.
good young Eminem.
No, he's too old now.
I
too
look. I
old.
think if you're gonna play a young Eminem, a young Marshall, you ought to do him some justice and actually find some dude. He's from Detroit, right, Seth?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Actually, pick a guy from Detroit. Don't pick a guy from.
You don't think Joseph's from Detroit? Oh no, he's
Across
not. He's
the
British or
pond.
something, isn't he?
Yeah. Don't pick a guy from Europe to play.
Makes me
Marshall
think of
Mathers.
that. It makes me think of that Key and Peele skit where they're like trying to play a gangster scene, and like Keegan Michael Key's character is like some British dude playing like this gangster guy, and Jordan Peele's character keeps telling the director, he was like, okay, but like, I was like a for real gangster, right? Like I actually ran with a gang. Like I know how to act like one and stuff. And he keeps like telling the British dude he's doing such a great job and stuff. And he's like, okay, but like, I know how it actually went down, right? Like, that's what it would be.
So I think Fantastic Four, this reboot, right?
Yeah, it's a 1960s. It's going to be set in 1960s, kind of retro film. So it's going to be old school type look. That's why they made it look like this.
And I think this is probably the most anticipated. I don't think that the Avengers Doomsday is going to be as anticipated. I think people are really interested in what they're going to do with Fantastic Four because they had the old one that people predominantly
they're not
loved.
putting John Krasinski in it. So
I think that's the biggest mistake. Is to not do John Krasinski.
John
Reed Richards.
Krasinski was like, he was nailing it as Reed Richards.
John and Emily Blunt, like you have two of your Fantastic Four right there. How difficult would that be?
Emily Blunt's a little older, isn't she?
They're both the same. What? No.
Look, no offense, but if you're gonna do right by the comics, Sue Storm has to have the sex appeal. If we're being honest,
I mean, Emily Blunt, she could be a kind of a
Emily Blunt is amazing, but I don't know if she has the sex appeal. Vanessa Kirby, she's in movies like Mission Impossible and different. I think most recently is Mission Impossible, but I think she's gonna do all right. Have you guys seen her a good bit?
No.
Yeah, I think honestly the only reason why they didn't put John Krasinski in there because they wanted to bring Fantastic Four back for like Avengers for this movie. They want to bring him into a lot of things, and they know John Krasinski's not going to do that. He's too busy with other projects where he would be in one movie, but he's not going to be like in like four movies. He was in one movie.
In fact, he was in like one scene.
I know, but like even people like Chris Evans, they're like, I don't want to be in Marvel stuff anymore because I'm done playing in all this Marvel stuff. I'll be in like one, and then that's it. They're tired of doing all the Marvel stuff.
Vanessa Kirby was in Napoleon. I forgot about that. She plays the love interest for Napoleon.
Which I
She
still
plays
have not
the wife
watched.
to Napoleon. But yeah, so I think definitely Fantastic Four is the most highly anticipated one as of right now when it comes to Marvel. It's the only one we're kind of interested in. And
Oh,
recently,
we totally skipped over Cousin.
yeah, that's true. You got Cousin from The Bear. He's going to be playing what's the fire
The
guy's
Thing.
name? Ben Grimm.
No, he's playing The Thing, isn't he?
The fire guy is who
Joseph
Quinn
Quinn.
is playing.
He's
Joseph
playing
Quinn's
The Thing.
Oh,
Johnny
right. He's
Blake.
playing The Thing. He's playing The Thing.
The Thing is the rock guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Eben Moss Bottrack.
Yeah, Ben. Which is
Backrack.
The Thing.
Eben
Bottrack.
Moss Backrack.
Yeah.
I want to say Baccarat, but I don't think it's Baccarat.
He played.
Backrack.
I think Joshua's right.
Not
Everyone
the
knows
front
him
crack,
from
the back crack.
everything. Everybody knows Eben as Cousin from The Bear. Everybody
The Bear,
knows
yeah.
that. Yeah.
Hey,
I think that's.
cousin.
Have you seen The Bear yet?
I don't think
No.
Seth's watched The Bear at
Come
all.
on, you gotta
There's
watch.
a lot of stuff I haven't watched. We're watching, right now we're just watching through New Girl, and but I've already seen
I'm
before.
going back
Oh,
to New Girl
we-
right
He
now.
was
have
an
our-
Andor.
we have our comfort shows that
Mm.
we
New
kinda
Girl's
return
great
to.
though. I've watched that show probably.
New
like,
Girl, the best part of New Girl is anything that doesn't involve Jess.
That's
Honestly,
we've talked about
You're
this
right.
times.
You're right.
Sarah disagrees with me, but I told somebody the other day, I was like, the best part of New Girl is anything that Jess isn't really a part of because she gets under my skin.
Yeah,
But
she really
anyway.
does. It's that.
But
It's
yeah.
that liberal confidence, dude.
Yeah. Been doing that, and we watched The Goonies for the first time. Not my first time, but she for the first time for her yesterday.
Did she respond like, "Oh, it's a little tacky"?
Yeah, like she was like that. Like that's a fun movie,
It's a fun movie. It
So
is
I'm
fun.
like, it's just a fun, like old, like kids adventure movie, coming of age.
young Sean
So,
Astin.
Yeah, Sean Astin. I was like, she couldn't believe that was Josh Brolin. He's so young in that movie.
Yeah,
Dude, I always forget Josh Brolin's in there. I always forget. We got a
and
lot
he
of
plays
really
like the
great-
meathead too, doesn't he? In that movie.
Yeah, he's the older brother. He's Sean Astin's older brother in the movie.
Yeah, like
And,
the guy that's always constantly doing pull-ups and stuff.
Yeah, he's
Interestingly
like
enough-
constantly working out. He's got the old '80s like spring thing that he's doing the whole time.
Interestingly enough, Josh Brolin looks younger than Sean Astin these days.
That is the funny part. Yeah.
All right, let's keep going. So we got Avengers Doomsday.
Mhm.
Robert Downey's going to be the villain, playing Doctor Doom. Good choice,
Apparently-
sort of. Not sure how I feel about it entirely.
2026. So we got 2 years for this to come out.
Well, they
I
got to
just-
release like these
I
others.
don't
You know?
know if it's going to bring the. I just don't feel like it's going to bring the outcome they're hoping it will.
No, I don't
I
think,
think
so.
Disney is grasping at straws for something here by like, well, everybody loves RDJ. Let's get him back in. That'll create some hype, and yeah, it'll create a little hype. But I think once people get past the initial hype and they start actually thinking about it, they'll realize this is going to be stupid. So
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll wait and see. But my prediction is it's not going to produce the outcome that they're wishing it would.
Right. And we did talk about this a good bit on the live on Monday, but if you think about it, like what else does Marvel have? You know what I mean? What else does Marvel have except these
Aquaman?
legacy actors who played
Pictures of
legacy
Spider-Man.
beloved-
Oh, wait, that's not Marvel.
I just think that I'm torn on the issue because if he keeps the Doctor Doom mask on,
Mm-hmm.
and it doesn't ever reveal the face of
Yeah,
Robert
but
Downey.
then it's like, what was the point?
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you just use someone else at that point?
No, they have to give us some sort of like pre-mask, story or something that they're going to tell us.
Did you guys see any of those articles written about Jonathan Majors' reaction to the announcement for Doctor Doom? Because
No.
they're pulling in Doctor Doom as the replacement antagonist for what was going to be
Jonathan Majors.
Kang, right? The Kang
Right.
dynasty, and Jonathan Majors. And when he was fired from Marvel because he lost his case in trial for the battery charge, they had to change up because they didn't want to recast Kang, which Wyatt says recast Kang, but they didn't. They recasted the antagonist.
Yeah.
Or they recasted
character.
who was going to be the actual villain of the next Avengers phase.
It makes sense though, because like from a standpoint, we look at it and we're like, it would be fine if you just recast it. It'd make more sense. Keep the story going the way you got it instead of trying to fix things. You know, it's kind of like with Black Panther, you know, Chadwick Boseman, God rest his soul.
Mhm.
But a lot of us were saying like, just recast, it'll be okay. And then just like, and it doesn't even have to be a big part, just like, but they didn't do that. And I never did see the second movie, but I see it from like Disney's end too. Like, think about the IQ of the mass amount of MCU enjoyers. Okay.
Be careful. Be careful what you say right now, bro.
I'm just saying people would not be able to immerse themselves with different actor. Okay. People get so wrapped up in the actor of a character, they cannot disassociate and say that's so and so. That's
supposed
that
to be
character.
Kang.
You know, we're
It's
kind of
not
forgetting.
being played by the now with Kang, it probably would have worked a little easier because we hadn't seen all that much
A
of
ton.
him yet.
Yeah,
Okay,
there wasn't
yeah.
a ton of him.
Wait,
But like I could understand that a little more with like Chadwick
there was
Boseman.
actually. Did you watch Ant-Man?
I
2 or
understand
3?
that. There, he was in Loki, he was in Ant-Man,
Yeah.
but I'm just saying you could have brushed off the
Do you guys-
Ant-Man a little bit, you know?
We're forgetting. We're forgetting a little bit. Everybody keeps bringing up Chadwick because they're like, "Oh, we had to recast him because he's no longer here." But do you guys remember they recasted? Let me get this character's name right. Iron Patriot.
Rhodey. Yeah,
Iron
Rhodey.
Patriot.
Yeah, they recast him after the first movie,
Mm-hmm.
and that honestly,
But that's because that
you
that
look
guy
back
was
at that, and
controversial, right?
you look back at that, and you're like, why didn't they see how that worked out and not try to do that again, right?
Yeah,
But I guess because
it
he was
wasn't
a
a
side
big deal.
character. I guess because he was a side character, whereas like Black Panther was a main character of his,
Yes.
his own arc.
Not only his
Iron
own
Patriot
film,
is-
but he was in an Avengers film, 2 Avengers films at the
Yeah.
end of the end game.
Mhm.
And he wasn't he in Civil War as well, or am I mistaken?
Yeah, he was in Civil War.
Right. So
Black
Chadwick was
Panther.
already
That's where
around.
Black Panther was introduced. Was Civil War. Yep.
Yeah, he was already around in like 4 significant movies, you know? Then he dies and Chadwick dies. And so it's like, it's really hard to recast Black Panther, whereas Kang is so much easier because he wasn't in a ton. Like, he was the antagonist, but he wasn't like 50% of the film with Ant-Man
They
and
could have
the
got
Wasp,
Denzel
you know what I mean?
Washington to do it. I mean, they look similar
Yeah.
enough.
Yeah.
Would've-
Get Denzel. He would have made a much better better
like,
Kang.
I
You
mean,
know?
bring in some of that equalizer energy or something.
He's
know?
got
Well-
he doesn't have any. Denzel has not been a part of the MCU yet, and they could have recasted him for Denzel.
well, they
y'all
took
and y'all should, side note here, y'all should, and I mean, you could feel welcome to bring me in on this, should do a segment one of these days on like who you would cast in a 90s Avengers verse.
Yeah.
Just
That'd be
the
pretty cool.
all the popular
Like-
leads.
Yeah, because I see a lot of people say like Denzel would have been T'Challa in the 90s. Like, yeah, I can see that for sure.
That's
Yeah,
true.
we should do a segment on that one day. That'd be cool.
That'd be
Anyway.
funny.
Doomsday, yeah. I'm gonna be honest, guys. When we're talking about Marvel and stuff, I haven't watched anything Marvel since.
Yeah.
Because they let you down, right?
Yeah, like the last
mean-
Marvel thing I watched
Probably Endgame
was
or Black Widow or something like
it was probably No Way Home.
that. Okay.
Okay.
Same, maybe.
I think I watched the first
I
season
only
of
watched
Loki.
once.
I watched WandaVision. I watched
Loki
Falcon,
season 1.
Winter Soldier.
Mhm.
Yeah, I watched Loki season 1, and I haven't watched anything. I watched Moon Knight, but I
Yeah,
haven't
that
watched
was a terrible one to watch.
since. Yeah, I haven't watched because
Why
I
you
was
haven't watched?
like pretty much like once a lot of the other movies I did watch Multiverse of Madness, and I was
Did you ever
very
watch
disappointed.
the original Daredevil show, the Netflix one that
Yes,
eventually
yes,
became canon?
yeah.
That was
And it
a
was
good
great.
show.
It was
That
great
was
when
great.
Netflix did it. Honestly,
And then they brought in I can't think of that character for Hawkeye, the bad guy. Who's the bad guy in that show?
Kingpin, yeah,
Yeah, thank you. They brought
they did him
Kingpin in
great.
for Hawkeye and nuked that character. I hate Kingpin in
Mhm.
Hawkeye. It's the dumbest guy ever. The dumbest.
Yeah, he was awesome in Daredevil. He was
Yeah.
truly an awesome, formidable antagonist in Daredevil. And then they just nerf him and have like a little teenage girl who's like just started being a superhero, completely demolish this super bad
And
guy.
the
You know
and
what
the
I mean?
thing is, and the thing with Hawkeye is like I liked the show. I liked most of it. I enjoyed it up until like the last handful of episodes of it, and it just like got
I
away
feel
from
like
it.
I think if I'm remembering how I felt about it correctly, I think I was like, okay, they didn't give me a lot in this episode. Like for the first couple, 3 or 4 episodes, it was like, oh, they didn't give me a lot, but I will accept it because these are building episodes, and I'm like, okay, they're building to something. And then when they got to that, it was like the worst thing ever. So I didn't hate the first couple episodes because I felt like, oh, it'll get better, it'll get better, it'll get better, but it never did. It just got worse.
Mm-hmm. And I actually enjoyed WandaVision as much as people have problems with it. I really like the angle they took with WandaVision, and I actually really enjoyed Loki season 1. Believe it or not, I think maybe it was Owen Wilson. I don't know. I really enjoyed season 1 of Loki,
Yeah,
and then they come out with Hawkeye right after that. It was like such a downgrade, you
Yeah.
know. And it's not Jeremy Renner. I'm watching Mayor of Kingstown right now. Jeremy Renner is a really good actor. He's really good.
yeah.
The
I
writing
would
Yeah.
and the story of Hawkeye was just horrible.
Yeah,
And
I would
have
love
you
to
ever
see
watched?
Renner in so much more stuff. You know, he
It's a
tried to kind of go off on his own thing with Bourne Legacy, and I think it kind of hurt his career apart from Marvel, just because the writing wasn't good. But like Jeremy Renner's such a good actor. I wish he would.
Yeah.
You know, I would like to see him more in more stuff. You know,
It's a
kind of.
brutal movie and a very graphic movie, but Wind River is a fantastic movie with him in it.
I know you and Wyatt are singing the praises of that film.
It's a good movie. It's a brutal movie. It's hard to watch, but good.
All right, let's move on. So you got the original. You got a side
Yeah, I
by
just
side.
threw
You're
this up
saying
here because I saw it. So they announced Secret Wars a while ago, but they've changed the logo. So clearly they're changing some things. This was the first time they announced it with everything where their roster was like full. They were like, 6 Marvel movies a year type thing. And now they're like, oh, we're going to pivot and do only 2. And this is the new version after they've pivoted.
What are the Avengers now? Like,
dude, you got
Who knows?
me.
like, we got.
They're predominantly women.
We'll
I'll tell
have
you that much.
Hawkeye. Is Hawkeye even still an Avenger technically?
So they have teased
We got Falcon.
Seth,
and, like-
if you watch the commercial for Captain America, or there's a clip or something that I saw for Captain America: New World. At the beginning, Harrison Ford's character goes up to whatever his name is, the new Captain America, and says, "Hey, we're gonna bring back Avengers again. We're gonna start up a new team," and that's kind of how it's opening up. And so I think Captain America: New World or Brave New World, whatever it's called, is going to introduce the team.
Yeah.
Well, you got Ironheart, who's the female Iron Man. You got they brought her out in the second Black Panther. You got the replacement for Black Panther, which is his younger sister, right? T'Challa's younger sister, and she's the new Black Panther. You got those two, and then you got I guess Doctor Strange is
Black
still
Widow's
around.
sister, or no, she's a part of Thunderbolts. Never mind.
Yeah, still got Doctor Strange, right? So he's still around. And then
I guess Wanda's not involved anymore.
No, she's dead, I'm pretty sure. Wait, how did Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness end? She died sacrificing herself.
Can't remember. Yeah, I try to block that movie out of my memory because I was just very disappointed.
Technically, Spider-Man might be there. I don't know if he's an Avenger or not.
Well, he's alive.
Which one?
Tom Holland.
Okay.
Well, everyone else went back to their
That's right. Yeah.
Their universes.
Like I said, it's been so long, and I've just like kept out of the loop. I used to, I remember when all the MCU stuff first started coming out, and we were all like in middle school and high school, and we were all keeping up with it. We were going to the movies and watching this stuff, right? And now it's like, now we're like adults and we have children of our own, and we're like, I don't want to subject them to this because it's going to be a disappointment in the long run. One day when Giles is older, I will sit him down and we will watch the Marvel stuff.
The Jon Favreau Marvel, right?
Yeah, we will end it at Endgame. That'll be it. Nothing else. And he'll say, but Dad, there's so much more stuff on Disney Plus. And I'm going to say, you're forbidden to watch that stuff.
You're forbidden.
It's nothing but pain and heartache, okay? I do this because I love you. Same with Star Wars. It's going to end at episode 6. That's it. Nothing else.
No.
Maybe the first season of Mandalorian. Maybe.
No, it ends at, well, you're thinking of it literally, but it ends at, this is what I do for Star Wars. I say 4, 5, and 6, 1, 2, and 3. All right. And then I give him Mandalorian season 1 and 2, and I give him Andor, and I give him the Clone Wars animated series.
Yeah.
That's what I do.
Get along with that. Yeah.
Everything else, I don't.
Jon Favreau, Star Wars, Jon Favreau, Marvel. That's what we stick to.
Pretty much.
We're gonna start a Jon Favreau cult for entertainment.
Well, the thing is, you got the Clone Wars, which is Dave Filoni and Lucas, but before Dave Filoni started slipping, you got Jon Favreau who did Mandalorian, and season 3 sucked, but first 2 were pretty good. And then you got Andor, which was written by this guy named Tony Gilroy. Do you know him, Seth?
No.
He's actually an intelligent writer.
I never did watch Andor, and I know
we talk about this nonstop.
You always seem praised.
I just never got around to it, and I don't know if I will, but I might give it a try.
I'm gonna be honest with you, dude. It's the only Star Wars I think in existence that has smart dialogue and actual performances that feel like it's for adults. It's literally the only Star Wars that really feels like it's intended for adults exclusively. And it's really brilliant. It doesn't mess up any of the lore. It expands on a character that was kind of mid or uninteresting from Rogue One. And it brings in like Stellan Skarsgård, the actor, to play a really engaging character who plays a big part in starting the rebellion before, in between episode 3 and 4. You know what I mean? And it's it's all very engaging. And Andy Serkis is in there. They have a prison escape. They have a heist where they're stealing stuff. It's all very well written. You got to check out Andor. It's really good. Yeah. It's outside of Lucas, I think it's probably the best Star Wars that's ever been made outside of Lucas films, right?
Yeah. I know we're talking about Marvel and Avengers, but we do have quite a few segments. So this is only our first one.
Don't limit me.
Keep her going. Keep her going.
This is my episode, my guy. I'm going to keep it going.
Our next segment.
Let's go. Thank the Patreon or the YouTube member. She's a YouTube member.
Thank you so much, Danita Beery, for being a YouTube member. We really appreciate it. You chose a few months ago, so it's been a few months to become a member over on Patreon, and we're very grateful. Listen, she gets podcasts like this early. She gets exclusive podcasts that we do before we record these. She also gets anything bonus that we decide to put out, as well as like a bunch of watch parties. If you're a fan of watch parties, meaning like, I want to watch this movie that I've seen 100 times, but I want to watch it with friends, and I don't have any friends to watch it with. You can pull up our Patreon or our YouTube membership, and Joshua and Wyatt have done so many movies where they watch the movie with commentary.
But have
many.
You want to watch Highlander? Do you want to watch us? You want to hear us say there can only be Juan for
about
like
5 billion times?
Yeah. Then go ahead and join the membership on YouTube or on Patreon.
It's only $3.99 a month. It's only $3.99 a month. We say it almost every week. It is cheaper than a coffee. Everyone always says you can give up coffee for one day to support this cause. You don't even have to do that. We're cheaper than coffee, which means you don't have to give up your coffee. You could do both. You can have your coffee and have a Patreon or YouTube membership as well. So don't slack on us. If you enjoy our content, consider supporting just like Danita has. Thank you so much, Danita, for your support.
Okay.
Seth, what would you say is your favorite movie ever? Just so the people get to know you a little bit more.
Oh, man. People ask me that, and I'm like, I have no idea how to even answer
Not
that.
any of the original Star Wars?
It's
like
so hard to
4,
pick.
5, and 6. Empire Strikes Back?
I feel like you have to break it down to like genres or types of movies for me.
Yeah.
You know,
action. Favorite action film.
Well, that's so broad. Favorite action film?
Ooh.
Let's see.
Just pure action. It doesn't have to have a lot of drama in it.
I really like
Die
this
Hard?
one movie. I don't know if you've ever seen it. I think y'all have. With Daniel Craig and Liev Schreiber. And it's called Defiance. And it's about
yeah.
It's about a group of Jews during the Holocaust. They're living in the forest. I love that movie. It's a great action-packed movie. It's fun. It's fun stuff.
Awesome. And what's your favorite drama?
Drama, probably Godfather.
Heck yeah, dude. You taking after
And
your own father.
and see, like Godfather can fall under action too, but like
Not really.
It's
Godfather's
a lot
not
of drama.
action.
But for drama, I mean, I'd say like probably The Godfather or something.
Have we talked about, the
Old
Godfather
West
show
movie,
on
Silverado, Open Range,
Mm-hmm.
Good, the Bad, the Ugly, cheesy 80s stuff, Terminator's up there, good stuff, and, Predator. I mean, it's like the original Predator. Like, how much better? Honestly, okay, when you go back to action, I mean, I love Defiance. When you're wanting to watch an action movie for just the action, like you want to see a lot of guns and stuff like that. Defiance is a little bit more of like action drama, I would say.
It's also a timepiece.
Yes, timepiece. If you want just big muscles, big guns, the first Predator, and it's got a little bit of horror in there too.
Did you watch Prey? No,
I didn't. No.
Dude, everyone's saying it's like one of the best Predators. It's capturing the original magic of Predator, even though all those films have slipped in the years. Prey came back, dude. Prey is really good.
It's got a really unique twist to it.
It's set in an interesting time in the world, But
it's another one of my favorite dramas. I guess it's not really a drama. It's more of a thriller. When it comes to thriller movies, Signs all day.
Dude. Heck
yeah, like me and Sarah watched that for the first time with her parents while they were staying with us, and it was a great time.
Signs is so much fun, dude.
Her mom only had to get up and take a lap once because she doesn't do well with like suspense and stuff. But it was a great time. I just love Signs is like a testament to when M. Night's doing it right, It's got that perfect mixture of really good storytelling.
I would say Sixth Sense is better,
visual suspense and stuff like that.
It's still good.
And just the right amount of cheese, he's got that weird, awkward humor that happens in Signs is so great. And then those moments that are probably supposed to be tense, but they're really funny when you watch them. He's yelling at him at the dinner table, and then he just starts stuffing his face to the right face, and then they start crying, and then it makes you cry because you're like, okay, that's relatable.
Yeah. Signs
we just watched The Village a couple months ago, and I watched it with MJ for the first time, and she got done with it, and she was like, "That was a terrible movie. I hated that."
You got to break it off, bro. You got to break it off.
No, I agree with
Deal
it.
breaker.
The Village is a terrible movie. It's
No,
not
it's not.
good. It's
No,
so
it's not.
bad. Go
You're
watch
only
it
It's not
saying
a
again.
that.
bad movie.
It's
You would have
so
thought it
bad.
was great if she didn't say that.
I've always thought The Village was bad.
The Village is a great movie.
See, that's
man.
funny
I mean-
because, if you look here, I have a record here of you actually saying before here. Let me look in my records here.
The Village is pretty good, is what he
This
said.
piece of paper here says you're full of crap. So.
No, it's good for what it is. Of like, if you want a cheesy kind of, I don't even know what you'd call that, like cult movie, then sure, but it's not good.
Man, shut your mouth.
The acting in it's
Well,
good. There's some good acting.
Making me
Like-
angry.
Opinions are like, backsides. Everyone
Yeah.
has one. It probably stinks.
Well, I don't really have a backside. Apparently, I'm flat. So
Let's not talk about each other's backsides, please. All right. Let's move on, Joshua. You got something interesting for us?
I just really quickly wanted to go through. We've here and there talked about riders. I always say the riders of Rohirrim. The war of the riders of Rohirrim. Am I getting that correct?
No, it's the War of the Rohirrim.
The war of the Rohirrim. I still didn't get it right. But they've put a few photos on IMDb that have come out. The look of what it's going to be, the animation style. Let's just go through it real quick. Take a peek at it. See what
All right.
we're
But where was Gondor when the Westfold fell?
I don't know.
apparently.
Not
Actually,
here.
If you read the books, Gondor was actually like fighting their own war when the Westfold fell, so they were a little preoccupied. So
Mhm.
All right, so the on IMDb gives us a synopsis of, if you're not caught up with what this is. It's The Lord of the Rings, The War of the Rohirrim. It's an animated, I believe, series or movie. I don't remember. But it's coming out this year, and this is the synopsis on IMDb. A sudden attack by Wolf, a clever and ruthless Dunlending lord, seeking vengeance for the death of his father, forced Helm Hammerhand, the king of Rohan, and his people to make the daring last stand in the ancient stronghold of the Hornburg. And I believe
It's a movie.
Helm Hammerhand is the guy, the king, who built Helm's Deep, the keep that that King Theoden protects his people from the army of the Uruk-hai in the Peter Jackson Two Towers film, and of course the books of the Two Towers as well.
And that giant horn that Gimli gets to blow at the end.
Yeah. And that's at the Helm's Deep, exactly. So this is going to be an anime style show film. Do you guys know if this is a film or a
It's a movie. It says right there. It's a movie that's 2 hours and 10 minutes long.
Gotcha. Okay. So first off, we knew this was going to be anime. We now see the style.
Yeah,
of it.
very anime. Very anime.
What's
very
your-
like Final Fantasy.
What's
yeah.
your guys' first reaction to anime being told?
So that doesn't
a
look
Star Wars
bad,
story being
but
told
I
in
hate
anime.
the way they draw females in anime. It
I
makes
don't
me
know. I think she's kind
uncomfortable.
of pretty.
Why? Because
It
their
makes me
eyes are big.
uncomfortable.
I think she's kind of pretty. I don't know what to say.
I think it looks great.
You think it looks great? Are you a fan of anime?
Josh over here trying to white knight for anime girls, like take it to another level for real.
It makes me uncomfortable.
Did MJ pay you to say that?
No, she probably would like it. She likes all that weird. Maybe I should be careful what I say. She's gonna watch this. I don't like it. It just personally makes me uncomfortable. I'm not here for
You
it.
don't like the Asian inspired animation style, Joshua?
No.
I think that's a
Like
bigotry problem.
Okay. Hey, careful.
Listen,
Throne looks cool. There are a lot of the artwork and the decor looks really cool. The swords look cool.
Yeah.
The
So
colors look a little bit muted, but
what do you think of this of King Helm Hammerhand? Do you guys think he's noble? What do you guys think? This is the first
it looks
visual representation of this story
Looks
that we
like
have.
Gandalf as a king,
kind of does.
or like Santa Claus if he was a king in Lord of the Rings.
Maybe a little more fit than Santa Claus, but yeah.
I mean, Santa's not always a big fat jolly guy. I mean, what wasn't the Santa from the Rise of the Guardians like really jacked or
He
something?
was, but that was
Yeah.
also there was a talking Easter bunny
Oh.
and Jack and
Yo, guys, check this out. So
Yeah.
I was like, all right, so this is Rohan, and in theory, thrones are passed down, generation to generation. The king sits on the same throne. So I was like, does Peter Jackson's Lord of the Rings, King Theoden throne, the Rohan throne that
Look
he
like
sits
that?
in, does it look like it? And I pulled it up on Google Images, and it does. It has the same spiral, right?
Mhm.
So this is a better look of it. It has the same spiral. It's very similar. And if you go back to this one, it looks the same.
Yeah.
So that's really cool. They kept the
Yeah.
same design
And they
from the
kept
Peter
it very
Jackson.
accurate.
Yeah, they kept the same design as Peter Jackson's Rohan throne. That's not the Peter Jackson. That's some
That's
fan
AI.
art.
Yeah, it's
AI or something. But yeah, it's the same design as Peter Jackson's Lord of the Rings. So that's pretty cool. I like that a lot, actually.
Yeah. I think it's going to be accurate. I think there's going to be a lot of referencing the book, very accurate things in this movie.
Now, the big criticism I have heard of this, is there any more pictures or was that it? It's just a couple. These are some older ones, some concept like 3D art that they were doing to pitch the show and stuff. But these have been on IMDb for a long time.
Yeah.
One thing I did want to bring up is obviously, Seth, if you didn't know, so Eowyn is who plays Eowyn, you know what I mean? Miranda Otto, who plays Eowyn in Lord of the Rings. Apparently she's going to be narrating this story. And one thing that kind of stood out to me is this Hera character, right? So it's the redhead in the anime look, played by Gaia Wise. I've heard some criticism that apparently I don't know. I haven't read the history of Rohan, so I can't confirm this, but I'm hearing people who are nerds in the Tolkien history around Rohan talk about how if you're telling the story of Helm Hammerhand and all of the different sons and different people that are around him, this girl that they're really focusing on with this story, right, apparently is a very side, not very important character to the movement of Rohan during this time. But it seems as though they're making her kind of the protagonist of this. So it seems like another instance where they're choosing to bypass a lot of male characters that are significant in this lineage story and in this time of Middle Earth and Rohan to have a female lead again. You know what I mean? So that's one criticism I'm hearing of this. Although that might be true, I do like the design of this character. I think she looked kind of cool and pretty for an anime character.
If you don't blatantly throw it in my face, like
strong
Alien.
women.
Yeah, the first original,
This photo kind of seems like it is. She's got a sword pulled. She's pointing it at us.
Maybe. But as long as you don't throw it in my face and be like, this is what we're doing, then I'm okay to look past it, but we'll see.
It's not so much the fact that it's a woman character, and the same that I don't have with all of it. It's not so much that if there is a significant female character in Lord of the Rings, tell her story, for goodness sake. But if you're bypassing a lot of important characters to make your lead kind of an unimportant female character in the actual lore of the time, that's a problem, because then you're just choosing DEI and you're building a script around something that you're trying to use for messaging or trying to use for modern political reasons. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, the only problem I have with this is that she's white with red hair. I mean, that's what I have a problem with, and she's not.
Have a problem with
know.
Irish people?
Yeah,
Joshua, you are
No,
Irish.
I'm kidding. No, I'm
You're
Italian.
not a good little Italian boy. Stop fooling yourself.
I'm a bad little Italian boy.
Call me a bad Italian boy. Call it.
Okay,
No,
well that's all I have for this.
Yeah, no, I mean that's par for the course though in Hollywood right now.
Yeah.
Like, I really liked how Peter Jackson did Arwen's character in The Fellowship. I think was handled so well of like showing.
Are you talking about Arwen or Eowyn?
Arwen.
Arwen the elf?
Arwen the elf, yes.
Okay.
Like I like the way he did her character of showing like she was very strong and capable on her own. Yeah. And it wasn't it was just like her abilities, right? You know?
Yeah. In the book, she chose to say, hey, I'm denying my immortality to become mortal for love, so that I can play a part in the history of Middle Earth. I don't want to leave this land and the people and just escape to Valinor, just for my own reasons and just because my father wants me to. And what's interesting is that it's sort of interesting. The reason that Elrond is so incredibly distraught about his daughter choosing that is because his brother did the same thing, and he watched his brother grow old as an elf and die. He did live a very long time, but you become mortal, right? And Elrond had to watch his brother die, grow old.
I love
and
how
die.
interested Wyatt is about this. Yeah,
his name's not Wyatt.
Yeah, I'm not Wyatt. You tried to be funny and you goofed on yourself. You're lame. Get him out of here.
Seth,
Wyatt's going to go back and watch this, and he's going to be very disappointed in you.
I'm disappointed in myself.
He's going to think, you're looking at this guy and thinking he's me?
I'm not thinking he's Wyatt.
Wyatt is way much more sex symbol than I am. I mean,
I work with Wyatt all day at work now, and so I'm constantly saying Wyatt.
I'm still excited about War of the Rohirrim until here's the thing. It's heavily contrasted with Rings of Power. There's nothing about Rings of Power Season 2 I'm excited about. War of the Rohirrim, I am pretty excited about. I mean, even with the small stuff being like they got the accurate throne in the little bit that we have.
Give us your 30-second take of Rings of Power Season 2, Seth.
Haven't watched it.
You haven't watched
Season 1?
First season.
Haven't watched it.
Okay.
So he doesn't have an opinion.
That's your
take. I don't have an opinion because I know it's going to be garbage.
Okay, well, that's an opinion. That's an opinion.
Like I said, I keep up with everything from this podcast, so...
So we give you your opinion.
Yeah.
Dang it, man.
Oh, it's with great power comes great responsibility, apparently. We need an Uncle Ben to tell us that so we can, not take it lightly when we don't like something.
What is something that you are looking forward to watching outside of New Girl and, your comfort show, Seth? Are you looking forward to Alien Romulus coming out this weekend? I'm going to watch it tomorrow.
Oh, yeah. I don't know.
You don't give a crap.
I haven't watched any Alien movies except for the first one.
The first one's good.
Yeah.
First one's good.
And, that's all you need to watch Alien Romulus.
Yeah.
It's apparently in between 1 and 2.
And Alien versus Predator. I watched that one the other day. As terrible as it is, just because I grew up with that movie, and so it was just kind of like a guilty pleasure. So
okay, but you're not planning on watching Romulus?
Probably not. I didn't even know it was a thing. Like I said, honestly, when it comes to a lot of the movies that have been coming out lately, I really haven't been keeping up all that much.
I can tell you what I'm excited for.
Me and my wife, we did go see Fall Guy, and that was a fun experience because it was just it was nice to just go watch a movie and have fun with it, and it didn't have a bunch of bull malarkey. It was just fun. So
Oh, is it a rom-com? Is that what it ultimately is? A rom-com?
pretty much like an action rom-com.
Okay.
It was a good time. It was a really good time. Yeah, I don't. So you haven't seen it then?
I haven't.
Yeah, it's just the basic premise. What's his name? Why is his name? Why am I blanking?
Ryan
Ryan
Gosling.
Reynolds.
Ryan Gosling. I wanted to say Ryan Reynolds, but I knew I wasn't right. Ryan Gosling's character is the stunt man for another guy, and it's a good time. It's a good time. Him and Emily Blunt like have a really good time together. They have good chemistry, and it's really really funny. But it's some good like action and stuff. So it's just a fun
I know
movie.
we were covering the trailers when those were being rolled out, and we felt like the whole movie was told in the trailer. Like the 2 trailers they released, it felt like we know the story. And we know they're going to live happily ever after on some level. So it's kind of like
I can see
the movie was all in the trailer.
Yeah, to an extent, but it's like that's not a movie you go and watch for the story. You go watch it to have fun, to enjoy the action, to enjoy the funny.
Did you get yourself some popcorn?
Yep.
Wyatt's over here, not Wyatt, Seth. You're rubbing off on me, Joshua. Seth's over here talking about his review of his serious thoughts of Fall Guy, and you're like, "Did you get popcorn?"
No, you gotta go and enjoy yourself some popcorn.
I mean, it's valid because it's a popcorn movie. Like that's what it is.
Yeah,
you know.
You go to the theater, and to watch those kind of movies, you're like, I'm getting myself a large sodies, a large sody pop, and then a large thing of popcorn. And I hope that it's while Dune is playing because, I hope I can get the Dune popcorn bucket while I'm there.
Did you see that whole controversy, Seth?
Yes. Oh my gosh.
Deadpool's doubling down.
I still haven't.
Did you see the Deadpool ones?
Yes, I still haven't seen Dune Part 2 yet, and I'm really aggravated.
It's on Max.
You could just watch it on Max.
I don't have Max.
I would give you my login, but I've already given it out to like 4 people.
But Sarah and I like went and rewatched Part 1 to get ready for it, and
you just didn't.
Part 2 came around, and we did not have the time. We weren't able to get to the theater to watch it. We never had time to do it. And
my guy.
But
he's taking the time to do this podcast with us. I appreciate that.
Yeah, absolutely.
We love Dune Part 2 on this here podcast.
Wow.
Yeah, but when it comes to honestly movies right now, there's not really anything that I'm that crazy about, like ready to see immediately. So
all
we'll
right.
see. We'll see what's coming out.
So Joshua, you got a segment here.
Very brief
and more AI stuff. This is the AI season.
No, there's 2 segments. First, very brief. I just want to mention, this is more of a mention than anything. So they officially, because we've already talked about this. I think we talked about it a week or so ago, 2 weeks ago. I don't remember when we talked about it.
We talked about it last week.
But they've officially started this. Yeah.
Is it really?
No, I don't. I pulled this photo randomly off the internet. I don't even know if it's.
It kind of looks like Tony Shalhoub.
Joshua, you got SAG-AFTRA. That's not the gaming.
No. Yes, this is part of it.
SAG-AFTRA is a part of this strike again.
Yes, it's the voice actors for video games. So SAG is part of this because they're still actors. They're the voice actors for video games.
All right,
they're currently on strike because they are saying that AI is taking their jobs and AI is creating voice acting in video games, and they're like, we don't want them to take our job.
And so last week we covered this. We said they're getting ready to strike, and now they've
started on Thursday.
The strike.
Yeah,
so that's
when this comes out. Briefly. Not like yesterday when this comes out live on the channel. The following Thursday, the previous Thursday. So it's been a week and a day at this point. I know that's confusing, but
okay. So here's a quote in case from someone you don't know, I'm sure, but just to add some thoughts to it. I think when you remove the human element from any interactive project, whether it be a video game or a TV show, an animated series, a movie, and you put in AI replacement for human elements. We can tell. I'm a gamer. I'm a digester of this content. British Call of Duty, Modern Warfare, and Warzone actor Jeff Leach says. So fans of video games are saying we can tell when it's AI and not a human. That's a pretty weak sauce argument. I don't think people who are about to save a bunch of money using AI care. Joshua, are you still feeling like you're on the team AI for this strike? Because we were like, why the crap are you team AI?
Because I'm saying, and I said this before, this might be insensitive, but
it is.
Using AI is going to progress us in that. It's not going to take over. I don't believe that's going to happen.
Well, if you keep having apologists like you, it will.
Well, we'll see.
Josh was
but it's going to force
I'm on team AI because
like figure out the newest thing and just progress as a society, and that's what we need.
Well, the technology.
Seth, what do you think? Because you're more of a gamer than us.
I'm not.
You don't care for AI.
Are you gonna speak for me? Go ahead.
Yeah.
No, go ahead.
Okay, Wyatt.
I don't know. This is the first I'm really hearing about this, but I guess I shouldn't be surprised. This whole idea of AI and using a video game, I think it can be a helpful tool, but here's the thing: it comes down to it's not going to replace humans. All in all, AI is so limited. AI can do nothing but copy and work off of what is already done by humans.
Yeah.
You know, that's all it can do. So AI is helpful for things like, you got a voice actor who is a much older man, and you want to use AI to like do a portion of his character as a younger man or something like that. It's helpful for that kind of stuff, but it's not going to completely replace voice actors. It can't, because eventually, I could see if it did, it could only do it for like maybe a 10-year run. It would run out of stuff eventually. AI cannot create. Only humans can create and make things that are original. Now we probably have enough media out there where AI could have a really decent run at stuff for a long time, but eventually it's going to start to sound unoriginal. Eventually it's not going to work. So
how many podcasts can AI create of 3 white guys talking about movies and arguing about AI that would be original?
So if you take it down to 2 white guys, it can make hundreds of them. All the different
so kick one of them off. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. I'm just saying, like, as many 2-man teams there are talking about movies and podcasts and stuff, it could create thousands of podcasts off of what's out there now. But for 3-man, that's a little different.
Well, I don't think humans care to listen to AI talk. I don't think they give a crap about robots. Look, Star Wars had it right. If we're going to be prejudiced against anything, it's going to be robot and robot intelligence. That's just truth. We do not give a crap. When Siri tells us something, we use and abuse her. You know what I mean? And same with Google and Alexa, Google Home and Alexa. We don't give a crap about robots, and we are not going to, for entertainment reasons, listen to a robot talk to itself. That's just not going to be a thing. It's just more so the tools that you can use. So if you have a really engaging visual story in a video game that you're doing, and as filler for like campaign or reaction voices, you can use AI. We don't really give a crap. If it seems realistic, it's just filler. You know what I mean? But with podcasts, people don't want to listen to robots talk to robots in podcast form. They do not care. You know what I mean?
Which is interesting to bring us to our last segment. You guys want to create something with AI?
Yes.
Let's do it.
I do. Now, what are we doing here, Josh?
So go to the slide I just threw this in here as a joke.
That's you, right?
Yeah. So Mark, good old daddy Mark Zuckerberg.
Ew.
I mean, he came out about a week or so ago and said Llama 3.1. I don't know why it's 3.1, but it is, has come out where Meta AI, you can add yourself into generated AI photos now with Llama 3.1. And so we're going to do a little testing here. We're I'm going to give Joseph one prompt and I'm going to give Seth one prompt, and they have to both generate themselves. We've already pre-taken our photos, and they're going to have to generate themselves doing those things using Meta AI Llama.
Can it be any prompt? Does it have to be doing something, or does it have to be a look of them? You know what I mean?
So, I mean, for example, if you go to his Instagram, he was putting things like, imagine me as a gladiator, imagine me as a chef, things like that. And
Okay,
so
not doing something, but as something.
As something. But I was playing around with it a little different. I was saying, make me eating a pizza, and this is what it came up with.
Mhm.
You know,
I'm wondering where that slice came from, because I see intact slices on this pizza. Did you order an extra single slice along with your full size pizza?
It's from the side you can't see.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
yeah.
That's what it is.
I
He
always
reaches
grab away
across
from
his pizza.
yeah.
All right.
So I mean, you guys can prompt anything you want. I'm gonna.
Okay.
We do it however we want. Whatever,
All right.
and then the first thing it gives us, that's what we're gonna show everybody.
No
on the pod.
editing. No editing.
No
here.
editing. No, you can't double do it. You gotta.
All right. So who's going first? Who's generating first?
Let's just go top. Let's go. You give us prompts, and then I'll give you guys prompts, and then Seth will give us prompts at the end.
Wait. So
How about
you're
that?
starting with me?
Yeah,
I'm generating first.
Give me a prompt to put in, and then give Seth a prompt to put in.
Oh, I'm giving 2 prompts. So wait,
Or
I'm
you
confused.
can just do one. You can just one prompt for both of us.
That's
and
what
see
I'm
what
saying.
it comes up with.
No, what I'm saying is the 2 of you give me a prompt, and then me and Seth will give you a prompt, and then you and I will give Seth a prompt. How about that?
Okay.
Is that cool? So that it's 2 prompts, so it's 2 elements each, right?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
so 2 things.
He's saying like you make a prompt and then make me and Josh both do it.
No, I'm saying if I'm starting, Joshua has to give me a prompt and you have to give me a prompt. So imagine I was a wizard digging a grave. So Joshua would say wizard and you would say digging a grave. And then I have to do that. You know what I mean? That's what I'm saying. So each person gets 2 prompts they have to put in their AI. Does that sound good?
Okay. We'll do it that way.
Seth, you look confused.
This is confusing.
Just tell me what to do.
Okay, well, I'll generate first. I'll generate first. Give me a prompt.
Give him something, Seth. You start.
Okay. Imagine. Tell AI to imagine you, Joe, as the annoying orange.
Ugh.
Knowing orange.
They're not going to get that reference. AI's not going to know.
No, it might.
All right, Joshua.
I guess I'm going to have to do a place then. The annoying orange in a kitchen. Let's just do that.
Imagine me as the annoying orange in a kitchen.
So it's just going to be the annoying orange.
You guys gave me some weak sauce prompts.
Yeah.
You guys gave me some weak prompts. This is not going to be good.
I feel like mine was okay, but Josh was like, in a kitchen. He could have said in a volcano or something.
All right. So they actually delivered somewhat, which is nice.
Oh.
So, okay. So can you see it? So this
so you're not annoying orange. They put annoying orange next to you.
Correct.
Okay.
So I'm carving giant oranges. So that's what it gave me. And we've said many times that Meta AI is kind of like the dumb AI. It can't fully grasp your concepts, but it tries. Yeah. So if there was ever going to be a war of the AI, it would be Meta would be the AI who's like, I'm on the human side. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
All right, so
You guys
Joshua
said
said
mine is
generate
weak
next.
sauce, and so give me a good one.
All right,
to-
here we
to
go.
Up, sell my weak sauce.
All right, here we go.
Yep.
You're gonna be imagined as Smeagol or as Gollum from Lord of the Rings.
In line for Space Mountain.
Okay.
Like ready to strap into the coaster.
All right, let's let Joshua type this in.
Imagine me as Gollum in line for Space Mountain.
Did it spell Gollum correctly?
Mhm.
All right.
Let's see what it does.
All right, show it.
It just kind of looks like me already.
Wait, hold it closer. I can't see. Are you wearing clothes?
Let me see if I can get up and get closer to the camera. Okay, can you see it better there?
Sort of.
No, not really. Get it? This. That's not Gollum. You look like
Your
a
screen's
hobbit.
going dark.
It looks more like a Hobbit, correct?
Okay, so it went with Hobbit vibes instead of Gollum.
Hobbit vibed, but very skinny me. It kind of looks like when I'm skinny. I'm kind of
Hey,
skinny.
no,
already.
don't go there. Don't go there.
That's stupid.
All right, now we got to give Seth a prompt. Joshua, do something better than in the kitchen, please.
I'm gonna stay in the kitchen again.
All right, you start, Joshua. You start with your prompt.
Imagine Seth as the Godfather.
Using the toilet.
Oh gosh.
Oh no.
All right, here we go. What is even this?
Let's see it. he's eating out
I'm
of the
using it. I'm
using
using it.
That actually, you look really good.
You look
AI
handsome. That's handsome, Seth.
The other photo you gave us, you looked really good too. I don't look good in any of these photos.
What am I holding in my hand? Like what?
It looks like you're
What
about
is
to eat
that?
out of the
What
toilet
is
bowl.
that supposed to be?
Maybe the piece of a fork, like you're eating your dinner out of the toilet bowl, or you're about to fix it or something. Could that
Why
be
do I
a
look like
Phillips
John
head?
Krasinski though?
You do kind of look
Like
a little
John Krasinski if he played the Godfather.
Bro, it looks like you. That looks like you, Seth.
That looks like me if I lost 30 pounds.
Man, what Meta really can't figure itself out, can it?
No.
Would you say that looks like me on the regular basis? Is that a pretty good version of me?
Yeah.
Sort of. Come
Sort
on,
of.
Blurry,
focus.
Something I'm noticing. I'm gonna really quickly just do this. I don't think this is gonna mess up our editing.
Come on.
No,
Focus,
it looks like you.
That looks like me.
Yeah, it kind of looks like young Joe.
Yeah.
You know what I noticed with all of my meta generations? It gave me the stash. I don't
The weak stash.
the weak.
It's because
stash.
that's what you have right now. And when you took your picture, it's giving you a weak stash. That's why Seth has facial hair on all of his generations. He's trying to make it look like you. Bro, you're acting like Meta did you dirty. It's what you look like.
It did me dirty.
It didn't do you dirty. You got the weak stash.
Okay.
Anyways, I think that's it,
I
right?
told it to imagine me as king of the Roman Empire.
Okay.
I want to see this.
You just want to feel glorious.
I do. because y'all are over here gassing me up. So I'm like, well, I got to give myself a really good prompt. Oh my gosh. Who is that? Who is that?
Ooh, it looks like
That's King
Bruh.
Seth, bruh.
Bruh, I
That-
could be king.
you.
Look at that.
It's pretty sick.
As a pirate.
That's me as a pirate.
That's funny. You
Come
should make
on.
that as your profile picture.
You think?
Yeah, change that to be your profile picture.
I don't know, dude. I do like they are pretty. It is pretty good at retaining your face.
Mm.
All right, is that it? That's a wrap.
Yeah, that's all.
Seth,
Folks.
look. If you were gonna say I'm gonna commit to watching one thing that I wasn't planning on watching, and you're gonna do it here, whether it's a show or a movie, what is that gonna be? You have to commit to one thing you're gonna watch.
Oh, I made it. It made me ride a dinosaur. That's so cool.
Show it.
All
Show
right.
it.
Show it. Okay.
If you're gonna pull it up.
Roman King me riding a dinosaur.
I love it.
That's great. Okay, commit to watching one thing.
That you weren't
The
planning on
Chosen
watching.
season 4.
You weren't planning on watching it.
You haven't seen it yet?
I am committing to finishing this.
I'm with you. I haven't finished it yet. I'm with you on that.
Guys are
Yeah,
weak
'cause
sauce, man.
I
The
can't-
Chosen is
I
like one of the
just-
best things out.
I know. Well, I mean, I'm just not excited about stuff. You know?
Your joy of life has just been
Yes.
it's just been stolen
Disney
from you.
ruined everything. Amazon ruined everything.
You know what? What's interesting is this is actually what happens when kids who are raised on Disney grow up and realize that Disney sucks and they fail us, because then our whole earth is shattered because we were raised on Disney. Now where's our identity? It's gone. It's in the wind. It's like chaff blowing in the wind is our happiness once Disney falls. So we have to keep Disney afloat. Otherwise our happiness just leaves us, right?
Or we let Disney crash and burn to ashes.
And with it, our childhood.
Someone else will take its place and
Mhm.
reclaim the throne to its former glory.
Angel Studios.
Yes.
No, they're not gonna. They're making some bad financial decisions. Have you ever seen that meme where the kid's like, "Nah, I make
What
bad
about-
financial decisions."
What about the
that's
Kindred
interesting.
brothers? When the world needed them most, they vanished. Like the Apple.
It's because the only person who ever trusted them and wanted to give them hope was Kirk Cameron. And I respect him, but one guy can't hold up your whole studio.
You're right. He can't. He sure can't. And Kirk Cameron's got his own stuff going on these days. Anyways, let's go ahead and end this, fellas. It's been fun. I appreciate it. Thank you all for watching. We hope that you enjoyed this time together. And if you want Seth to come back more often, just leave it in the comments, man. If you're like, I like his energy, I want to see him more often, as opposed to once every year and a half.
I do a lot better when Wyatt's around because me and him bounce off of each other a lot.
Well, no, it's not better for the audience. You guys just start going down a meme reference hole, and nobody knows what you're talking about.
That's a fair point. But
yeah, it's not a good podcast. It's fun. It's a great time for you.
But if we're having fun, the audience is having fun. I mean,
in theory, man, you'd be surprised. Some people just like,
I'm having fun. I'm having
no
fun
fun
right
here.
now.
We love you guys. Thanks so much for watching. Thank you, Seth, for joining us. We'll see
Peace.
you all next time.